Yo, what's up guys? It's Jack and welcome back. And it was only a one video or two videos in a stream ago, I believe, when I said that, well, um, people with early copies of the game are basically not going to be able to play it until the rest of us do. And that was true at the time, apparently. So from what everybody has been saying and all that's been said with all the news and everything, right, as we get closer and closer to release. But apparently, I guess sometime earlier today or whatnot, there was a patch that went live, and people that were fortunate enough to get their hands on a physical copy, an early physical copy of the game, are actually able to go on and play it. I don't think they can play it online, but they can play offline. They could play with bots and all that. So, and there's been a lot of stuff that's been revealed. Everything about there's been a lot of stuff about zombies being revealed, the war mode, and all that good stuff. But well, people are already starting to get very disappointed and angry, and I can kind of see why. There's two sides to it, which I'll go into in a little bit. But apparently, the one thing that's got everybody not very happy is the fact that, well, there's only going to be 9 multiplayer maps total in the base game, and on top of that, the people that have the season pass are going to get one more map. So it's going to be 10 for people that have the season pass, and then 9 for everybody that didn't get the season pass. So for the most of us, I believe it's going to be 9 maps. And with the release of a game such as this, that is a little low. But here is the upside that I was talking about earlier that I wanted to get into. And that is, well, out of all the Call of Duty maps that we play in any given Call of Duty game, there's only maybe 5 or 6 or 7 around there that we really like and that we can play all over again. Even in this game, in Black Ops 2. Now, granted, Black Ops 2 has a lot of great maps, but at the same time, it's got a decent amount of really bad maps, or some maps that we can do without. But the thing is that with these 9 maps, if they're all pretty solid, then we should be in good shape. But realistically speaking, how can every single map be solid? I mean, Treyarch has been making Call of Duty maps. Treyarch's been in it the longest. Their team has been in it the longest out of all 3 now. Although Sledgehammer has been helping with the builds of Modern Warfare 3, or even before that, I believe, as well. But with that being said, no matter how good you are, aren't you going to make a few crappy maps here and there? Or aren't you going to make a few mistakes in the map building? Now, I know that they also brought competitive players in to kind of help with giving them feedback or whatnot. But with that being said, again, and I've said that twice, I got to stop saying with that being said. But anyway, the thing is, nobody is perfect and no game is perfect. And obviously there are going to be flaws and stuff like that. But what are the chances, realistically speaking, what are the chances that at least 6 or 7 of those 9 maps are going to be maps that we will say, okay, these maps are pretty dope? Usually on average, Call of Duty, I would probably say 5, anywhere between 5 to 7 or 8 maps at the very most out of the 13 or 14. I think this game had, 15 or 16 maps, I think, on release, give or take, I believe. So, I don't know. I mean, obviously in competitive, you've got 3 or 4 maps that are played usually, maybe 5 at the very most. But again, the majority of us are not competitive players. Going back to my point again. And again, absolutely nothing about competitive, nothing but love and respect for, excuse me, for every single person that plays competitive, whether you're a professional yourself or whether you are an aspiring pro player that wants to make it that far. Much love and respect, and absolutely nothing against that whatsoever. But again, the majority of the fan base and the majority of the player base are not those guys. And I'm sure that the competitive aspect is going to be well taken care of in this game, especially, better than Infinite Warfare, that's for sure, and better than Ghosts. So, and again, Sledgehammer does take inspiration, a lot of inspiration from Treyarch. If you look between if you read between the eyes, you can tell, or between the lines, excuse me, you can tell that basically Sledgehammer does get more inspiration from Treyarch than they do Infinity Ward. And that's definitely a good thing. And at the same time, Sledgehammer does try to do their own thing, so I give them a lot of credit for that. And I'm not counting them out. There's a part of me that still has faith because, again, what these guys have is an incredibly enormous task. But the thing is, when you put more emphasis on one other aspect of the game or two aspects of the game, it's going to take more emphasis off of the other aspect. So I have no doubt that the campaign is going to be really solid, especially since it takes place in World War II and how the developers have already expressed how inspired they were and how much they traveled and how much time they just spent on research and all these different things. I get it. I absolutely love it, and I got respect for it. But at the same time, you got to have... They have this impossible task where they have to put the same amount of love and respect into the multiplayer as well as the zombies game mode as well. So, where does that leave us? It leaves us in a really interesting position, especially with all these leaks coming out. And there is room for disappointment, but at the same time, with some faith, we got to give these guys at least a legit shot and say, hey, these guys could pull it off. I mean, we still haven't seen, as we count down to release, in these next few days, and I literally mean these next few days, we will be seeing more maps, maybe even now as we speak. We will be seeing more maps, maybe more game modes here and there. Obviously, we're going to see more of the zombies and stuff like that, but we're mainly talking about multiplayer here. And respectfully speaking, and realistically speaking, there's a lot of room for disappointment just from what has been shown so far. But at the same time, we have yet to see everything, and as the clock winds down to release, only time will tell. But as of right now, with the lack of multiplayer maps, it's not a good sign. But with some faith, you just never know. And until we all, and I've said this before, until we get our hands on the game itself, and now, again, I haven't played the beta, but again, the beta could be very different from the actual release of the game, depending on how much feedback they've taken into account and how much they've applied into it from then to now. But until we get our hands on the full game, we really can't make full judgment because feeling the game is a lot different than just looking at it. But at the same time, if you're a longtime Call of Duty fan, you can kind of see bad news before you even get your hands on the game. So I'm being respectfully cautious. Let's just put it that way. So I just wanted to get my thoughts out there on this video, and apparently I think you guys kind of like these kind of videos, so I might as well put it out there, right? So, but anyway, let's keep our fingers crossed, and let's hope that our concerns are wrong, and let's hope that the game itself ends up being better than it would be worse. So anyway, that's all I got for this one, guys. I hope you enjoyed the gameplay and the commentary. What are your opinions? What do you guys know about the game so far that I haven't mentioned in this video? And what are your opinions, and how do you feel about it? Let me know down in the comments below. And as always, if you liked the video, let me know, and if you didn't, let me know what I can do to make my videos better, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.